Hi, I'm Jolie Reed. And last Christmas Eve, my brother blocked the doorway. No place for losers, he said. His voice didn't shake. Mine didn't either. Behind him, the tree glowed warm and perfect. My mother clutched her wine. My father stared at the floor. Nobody moved. Nobody defended me. I stood there holding gifts for his kids, wrapped with care, picked out slowly. Paid for by me. Always me. Jacob smirked like he finally won. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just said, "You're right." Then I walked away from the doorway and made one quiet decision. A decision that froze the only lifeline his family still had. By New Year's, he'd be the one knocking on my door. Before we go on, tell me where you're watching from, and one detail about your setup right now. Sofa, kitchen counter, night shift break room, anywhere. Your stories keep echoes of life alive. I used to love Christmas. The lights, the cinnamon candles, the way snow softened everything ugly. It was the one day I could pretend we were normal. But that illusion cracked years ago. Not loudly, quietly, like ice splitting under your feet. Growing up, I was the fixer. If a bill was late, I paid it. If someone needed a ride, I showed up. If Jacob lost a job, I covered the gap. No questions, no conditions. My parents called it generosity, but it felt more like assigned duty. "You've always been responsible," my mother said. Her smile looked proud, but sounded relieved. My father rarely spoke. He just handed Jacob another excuse, another chance, another way out. Over time, I stopped noticing the drain. School fees for the kids? Done. Utilities overdue? Covered. Mortgage short again? I wired the difference. Back then, I told myself it was kindness. Maybe guilt. Maybe hope. Maybe I just wanted a place at their table. Any table. But the truth was simpler. Helping them kept me useful. Useful kept me tolerated. And tolerated felt close enough to loved. In my family, generosity is a leash. They pull. You obey. And they call it devotion. This year, I tried to change the pattern. I baked cookies, bought thoughtful gifts, took days off work. I imagined warmth, laughter, maybe even forgiveness. Instead, I got a door slammed in my face, and a brother calling me a loser while the others watched. Their silence cut deeper than his words. Silence always does. It says, "We agree," without ever saying anything. Driving home that night, I finally understood. I wasn't part of a family. I was part of a system that worked only if I stayed quiet. And this time, I wasn't staying quiet anymore. I barely slept after Christmas Eve. The words replayed nonstop. No place for losers. Over and over. Sharper each time. I'd heard Jacob mock me before. But never with an audience. Never with my parents standing still. Never with that silence approving him. The next morning, I made coffee. Sat at my kitchen table. Stared at my December list. Christmas budget. Presents. Shipping receipts. Kids' school fees. My handwriting looked foreign, like someone begging to be included. I traced every line slowly, feeling the weight of each favor, each payment, each time I rescued them first, and myself last. Something inside me finally shifted. It wasn't rage, just exhaustion, the kind that feels like truth. I opened my laptop, logged into my accounts. There they were, years of transfers, kids' tuition, daycare, utilities, mortgage support. Grocery top-ups, every line a receipt of my silence. I didn't slam the laptop. I didn't cry. I just started ending things. Cancel. 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 Auto payments vanished one by one. 5 minutes. That's all it took. 5 minutes to undo 5 years. I expected guilt. Already braced for it. But nothing hurt. I felt lighter. Like someone cracked a window. In a suffocating room. I made another cup of coffee. Stronger this time. Stood by the window. While snow drifted under streetlights. For once, I wasn't thinking about bills, or repairs, or who needed saving next. I was thinking about boundaries, how peaceful they sound, when you finally draw one. By noon, I boxed the Christmas gifts, taped the lids shut, didn't throw them out, just couldn't look at them. Every ribbon felt like evidence of how long I bought my place, and how little it earned me. That afternoon, Jacob texted, "You could have dropped the presents. Kids are waiting." I typed one word. No. Sent it. Put the phone down. He texted again. "What's your problem?" Then another. "You've changed." I didn't respond. Let him feel the quiet. Let him meet the wall. He always insisted I didn't have. By the third day, my phone buzzed nonstop. Polite messages first. Then guilt. Then anger. Then threats masked as worry. I read every one. Not to react, just to remember. This wasn't love. This was dependency dressed as family. And I was done being their foundation. Because once I stopped paying, the truth finally surfaced. If this were your family, what would you do? Comment 1 to keep paying and keep the peace. Comment 2 to cut the money and reclaim your life. Echoes of Life is listening. Jacob lasted 3 days before switching to real panic. That afternoon, he stormed into my office. No call, no warning, just red cheeks and winter air clinging to his coat. "We need to talk," he hissed. My coworkers froze. Their eyes flicked between us. I led him outside, into the cold parking lot. He spun toward me fast. "You think cutting us off is fair? The kids are suffering." "They're your kids," I said quietly. He barked a laugh. "Responsibility suddenly matters to you?" Something inside me tightened, but my voice stayed calm. "You're right," I said. "I am taking responsibility. Mine." His jaw twitched. "You can't do this." "I already did." I walked back inside. Didn't look at him. Didn't give him the explosion he wanted. That night, the pounding on my door shook the frame. I checked the peephole. Jacob, face flushed, eyes wild. I opened the door a few inches. "What are you doing here?" "You need to stop this," he snapped. "You're ruining my life." I folded my arms. "You ruined your life first." He stepped closer. "You have no idea what's happening. You can't walk away from family." I almost smiled. "Family? Is that what we are now?" He didn't answer, because from the sidewalk, a soft voice cut through the cold. "Jacob, stop." Kelly stood by the car, coat half zipped, face pale, eyes hollow from weeks of hiding truth. "Go home," he barked. She didn't move. "No," she said softly. "We're done." His head snapped toward her. "What are you talking about?" She held a folder in her hand. Thick, heavy, familiar. "I met with someone today," she said. "A lawyer." Color drained from Jacob's face. "You what?" Kelly stepped closer. Calm, shaking, determined. "I know everything," she whispered. "The gambling, the lies, the hidden account." She lifted the folder. "I saw your statements. Every transfer Jolie sent. Every withdrawal you hid. You spent the kids' money at casinos." Jacob spun toward me. "You told her?" I shook my head. "Didn't need to." Kelly held up copied documents. "I gave these to the lawyer." "It's over, Jacob." He lunged forward once. Instinct. Desperation. But I stepped between them. "Don't," I said. My voice stayed low, but it carried enough weight to stop him cold. He stared at me, breathing hard. "You think you're better than me?" "No," I said. "Just finally free." Silence stretched. Cold. Wide. Final. Then he turned, shoved his hands into his coat, and stormed off into the darkness. Kelly trembled. "I should have said something sooner," she whispered. "That night, when they called you a loser, you were surviving," I said. "I get it." She nodded, crying quietly. "I'm done choosing him over truth." Inside, I poured her warm tea. Cinnamon filled the room. She sank into the couch, like someone exhaling years. And for once, helping didn't feel like losing. Because that night, his power didn't break me. It broke itself. The next morning, Kelly was still asleep on my couch. The room felt warmer than any holiday I'd spent with family. Around noon, my phone buzzed with a call from an unfamiliar number. "This is Mark Dawson," a calm voice said. "Kelly's lawyer." My chest tightened. "Is she okay?" "She's fine," he said. "But there's something you need to see." I met him that afternoon, in a small office downtown. Big windows, quiet hallways, no emotion in the air. Mark slid a folder across the desk. A different folder, thicker, organized, precise. Inside were statements, withdrawals, casino charges, hotel receipts, years of spending. I didn't know I funded. My money built Jacob's second life, not a family life, not a stable home, a habit. "Kelly's filing for separation," Mark said gently. "She wanted you informed, in case he contacts you again." I closed the folder slowly. Everything inside smelled like long-term betrayal. Not loud betrayal, just steady erosion, the kind that changes people, cell by cell. "I'll handle it," I said. That evening, my phone rang again. "Jacob." "Of course." I picked up. He didn't even breathe first. "You ruined my family," he shouted. "She's leaving because of you." "No," I said quietly. "She's leaving because of you." He swore under his breath. "You think you're righteous now?" "I think I'm done," I said. And that's enough. Before he could explode, I added one more line. Stop or sink, Jacob. Then I hung up. He called again. I didn't answer. Then again. Still nothing. By the 5th call, I blocked his number. Silence returned. Like a clean room. The next week, Kelly packed the kids and moved north. New state. New school. New air. She sent me a photo of the boys building a snowman. Their boots uneven. Their smiles real. Under it, she wrote, "Thank you for everything." I stared at that photo a long time. Helping always drained me before. This time felt different. This time felt earned. Jacob stopped calling. Stopped texting. Stopped pretending. But news traveled. He'd lost his job. Missed mortgage payments. Moved in with a friend. Who eventually kicked him out. Someone told me. He kept saying, I abandoned him. Another said, he blamed Kelly. Another said, he blamed fate. Everyone but himself. But I didn't celebrate. Didn't gloat. Didn't watch the collapse. I just closed another old account. Filed the last statement away. And whispered something soft. Into the quiet room. Maybe I wasn't cold. Maybe I was finally warm. On my own terms. Because when the truth walked, it didn't need me to hold its hand. And the more his world collapsed, the less I needed to look back. February came quietly. Soft skies. Gray mornings. Streets finally honest again. After the holiday lights disappeared, Kelly and the kids settled into their new place up north. She sent small updates. Snowmen, messy pancakes, crayon drawings on fresh walls. Each photo looked lighter. Then the last year of her life, Jacob vanished. Into the silence that follows storms. Not healing, not growing, just hiding from consequences. He built with both hands. My mother called once. Her tone clipped and blaming. You've made things difficult for your brother, she said. He's not himself. I almost laughed. Maybe now he finally is, I said. She sighed and hung up. Old pattern, old script. No space left in me for their guilt. For the first time, the guilt didn't stick. I'd spent years mistaking sacrifice for love. Years confusing duty with worth. Years letting them drain me. Because good daughters help. But help without respect isn't love. It's servitude. And I was done. I started sleeping better. Breathing easier. The quiet felt warm, not sharp. One afternoon, I walked past the old bakery. My mother loved. The cinnamon scent lingered in the winter air. For once, it didn't sting. It reminded me that sweetness can exist without obligation. A week later, a letter arrived from Kelly's lawyer. Inside was her note. We're safe now. You gave us that. I folded it gently and placed it in my drawer, beside the last photo I ever took of my family. Not for nostalgia, for evidence of what survival looks like. I dropped off the last box of Christmas decor at a donation center. When the clerk asked if I wanted a receipt, I told her, no, I already kept the lesson. Driving home, I passed my parents' street. Their house looks smaller now, like a stage. After the play ends, I didn't stop. Because maybe I wasn't a loser. Maybe I was just the first one to stop paying. If this story touched you, please like the video, share it with someone carrying too much, and subscribe to Echoes of Life for more stories of quiet courage and truth.